Everybody, it's Invicta. It's time to run here. The Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Friday, Mosh Pit. Hope you all had a great start to your weekend here. For Charlie, Juliet X-Ray, Alpha 6 Echo 1. We've got really bad tiers and good HP. That's about it. We have Cracked Orb as well, as well as the Keeper's shop here. So, as you saw right there with us leaving the curse room, it actually opened up the secret room. So if we wanted to get a free entry like this, we would have to take some damage there. And that's what the Cracked Orb is really all about, is giving you some opportunity there without you having to really stress too much about the damage. We get Maggie's Bow, which is just excellent. Maggie's Bow is going to give us almost a full heal, but more importantly, it's going to give us double healing for every time we pick up a heart. So a half heart will heal for a full heart, and a full heart will heal for 2. It was very good for red heart tanking builds, and it's going to go along great with the Cracked Orb too. Wow, we got really close to that Gaper just for fun. So, but yeah, yesterday's run was it was definitely interesting because obviously Capricorn was really the only impactful item that we had right at the start there, and I wanted to put some emphasis on that just because, you know, with simply just one all stat up and that is it, you're going to need to be able to pull from your personal experience. You know, that's a really good seed to try to test out how good of an Isaac player you really are. If you're able to win, I don't want to say comfortably, but if you're able to win on a run like that with only really one all stats up. I mean, we did get Synth Oil yesterday, which was fine, but it obviously did not make a lick of difference in the long run because our DPS was just so bad. So I don't like this at all. Yeah, with this tiers rate, this is awful. Hopefully one of these jokers gives us a heart to heal with here, but we are going to need to get some major. There we go. Gonna need to get some major help on the damage side. Now I'm gonna get hit here so we can open up the super secret room for free. And, you know, this is just one of those things that you just saw right there. We also get info on where the boss is as well the Ultra Secret room is if you take enough hits. But it's a good way to conserve early bombs. You know, it gives you a good opportunity to pool resources when otherwise you wouldn't be able to have, you know, this many extra bombs or we wouldn't even be able to get into the secret room or super secret room at this point. We'd have to go guess for it. But this way here, we don't have to worry about that. We get Mom's Key, which is great. I would like to get that reverse tarot card if possible. So let's go back and play a little bit more of this Temperance Machine. And you're already seeing the massive effects of us having Maggie's Bow here. Now you throw all of that also combined with the fact that we have Keeper's Box, which is going to give us a free... not a free, but it's going to give us a shop item that we can buy for. Like, we can buy the Bible right there if I really wanted to. We get reverse tower card, which is great. It's going to help us get some tinted rocks, I hope, and we'll probably save it for the next floor, as we don't really have any XL rooms that we can get a lot of multiple tinted rocks in on this floor. But this bomb is going to be even more important now, and that just kind of shows you, you know, what if we had to use the bomb to get into the secret room? What if we had to use the bomb to get into the super secret room? That we wouldn't have this opportunity to use the reverse tower card that we gave ourselves from going back and getting the money from the Temperance Machine in the super secret room, which again did not require any bomb at all. Now we have the ability to go give ourselves a soul heart, secure the devil deal, and possibly have just a smooth sailing run, all because of one play. And it all comes from just the knowledge of knowing what items do in this game. That's the most important thing that you can have when you're starting out with this game, or even if you're an amateur or a veteran at Isaac. Just knowing what items do what, how you can use it to your advantage. It all goes into being a better Isaac player, and I try to show that off as much as I can. Obviously, I'm not the most perfect Isaac player in the world, and I never claim to be, and I never will be. But whenever I can kind of confidently explain some of these plays here, or just give examples, you know, I think it's kind of my responsibility to show people some moves and also learn as well. I learn stuff all the time from people who know more about Isaac than I do. Zombolus is being one of them there. There's a few tricks and tips that you can get about Isaac from multiple sources. But we need to get tears up great, bad, and this is ain't gonna cut it, Chief. Sorry to say. So we didn't actually have a question of the episode from last week. It was all people giving me their ideas about the 3-item run. Some people said that I am allowed to take an active item. Some people said that I should randomize the active item, or just flat out no, you can't have an active item if you're only going to count 3 items. Then you got to count that as 1. But it was interesting to see the takes that everybody had in regards to that challenge, and I gotta say, that's one of the more impactful challenge videos that we might have ever done on this channel. It really got people talking. It got me thinking, and then, of course, we end up having that monster of a run on Wednesday for Wacky Wednesday. It's definitely talk of the town right now. But, and again, there was things that I could have done differently. I definitely would have selected, if I really knew what was going to go on, I think Libra would have been a better chance, but I just couldn't risk it. We talked about this yesterday. Ultimately, I think C-section is what carried that run, and being able to overlap it over and over again with soy milk was huge for us. I could have taken damage in this room here and opened up the shop, but I didn't want to do that because, well, we don't have enough HP to guarantee anything here. Also, I hate this room. I don't know what in the world is going on in this room, because I almost wish that this was a regular tower card now. Yeah, so whoever had the great idea that these things can rotate and start firing is, yeah, they should be fired. Out of a cannon, into a wall. With Todd Bowles. And possibly Baker Mayfield, too. Like, I'm never going to get over that until we are rid of Todd Bowles and the Buccaneers. I will not let it go. I'm sacrificing myself to being that fan that hates his own team in order for us to win football games again, because I know that we are never ever going to go anywhere with this man. It's actually kind of great that we only. Yep, I knew I should have shut up. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Carry on. Let's get our double deal secured before we start talking about how it's thank goodness we didn't take any damage in this room, or very little damage. Hoping for a soul heart to drop here. Now we did get Mom's key, which gives me a little bit of hope. I am going to go into the secret room. And we should go into the curse room as well as the item room, because there's no reason for us. If there's an item that can help us against the boss and help us take him down faster, then that's what we need to do. There's no reason not to, anyway, because we're not under a time constraint. Boss rush is, well, I mean, it's not even in the thought process right now. So there's still not really a good room. This room would have been great for the reverse tower card, except that, well, there was already a tinted rock in there. There's a lot of other rocks too. You never really want to use a reverse tower card in a room that already had a bunch of rocks, because your rocks from the tower card will not spawn where there was already previously rocks there. Even if you clear the room with bombs, they're still not going to spawn where a rock spawned previously. So just be aware of that. This death card I was really tempted to rip in here because this champion Monstro. Ministro. Hopefully we don't get a champion Monstro. That would be absolutely terrible. Brother. Thank you. Just going to rip it in here just so we don't have to worry about the dips. And Bone Spurs is bone bad, but we'll take it anyway. I mean, Bone Spurs is kind of like whatever. It acts as sort of a barrier between you and an enemy that's chasing you, assuming that you're killing something on the way there, wherever you might be going. I'm going to risk it and go for the double deal here. Double deal item anyway from the Demon Judgment before the boss. This is a bad idea. You shouldn't do it. And that's the reason why right there. So we managed to get a red heart. We'll be able to maybe get a chance for another payout. But there's none in here. One more charge on the Keeper's box and we will have a chance to get another payout. For a heart, anyway. You also get one from a poop pile. I wouldn't mind it. But with a 2.04 tears rate, yeah. And then going up against turdlings as well is, we're going to have to use bombs here. So you see the bone spur right there kind of helping us out a little bit. Good bomb there. At least we got one of them. The bone spurs, they do act as sort of a barrier and a almost like a wall that mobs will just run right into, and it does deal damage. So get the box. What's in the box? Get ourselves a couple hearts here, a bomba, and a high priestess card, which just in case there's a Krampus fighting here, which there's not, but there definitely could have been. Yeah. I'll take the Book of Sin. It allows us, as I was just getting ready to say right there, it allows us to maybe get a little bit of extra HP that we can use for you know, for devil deals and that sort of thing. And if we can get, I mean, there is one heart in there, so yeah, we can actually absolutely hit both of those. Fill up both of these bone hearts, I mean. Devil card would have been nice on Wednesday. And let's see if we can ultimately get a payout here from this demon judgment. So that's not going to happen. And I don't really want to risk losing these losing these bone hearts. We're going to need them, so we're just gonna have to take the L and yeah, and then probably use the tower card. Oh, Mama Victa's calling here. I gotta pause 1 second. All right, sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, we're going to have to protect these bone hearts as fast as possible, and that involves not getting hit. Now, this might be the room to do it. Maybe. I'm hoping that maybe we can get ourselves a red heart out of these. All we need is just really one red heart, one full red heart to get out of these poop piles, and then we will have enough to at least partially protect our bone hearts. But again, at this tears rate, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle here. We don't want to get charged off screen. That one was a little bit too close there. Also, just now realizing our movement speed is also not great. So, yeah, not a particularly strong start. Our shot speed is about the highest stat that we've got right now, other than maybe our damage, I guess. Our range is actually pretty good, though. That's all thanks to the push pin, or safety pin. But here's to hoping that we don't have to utilize Maggie's bow too much and we can just start getting some offense here. I'm tempted to go inside of the mob trap room here. This is a room that we could get multiple tinted rocks out of, but let's at least go see if there's a chest in here first that might have a heart or two. It could, but I'm gonna rip the reverse tower card now. And we got 3 tinted rocks. That is huge right there. All right, so at least for the time being, we're going to have some. At least for the time being, we're going to have some protection for our bone hearts. Now we can at least go into the mob trap room and see if there's more red hearts in there. We get small rock, which is definitely not ideal here because obviously I don't want to lose all that HP, or all that movement speed, I mean. But we did gain all that HP. This is where my brain was going, but my mouth was trying to catch up there. Good. Good. So we stabilized HP-wise. Excellent. Damage is now slightly above our starting damage, which is good. I mean, we got 1.02 more than base Isaac damage for starting anyway. And we did get a mild tears upgrade. That is one nice thing about small rock, but obviously the big downside is the huge drop in your movement speed. And that can affect your survivability. Luckily, we do have Maggie's bow, and we are tanky enough to take a couple shots. Not that I want to, obviously. Okay, we got another soul heart there, thanks to a couple of recycled full charges for the Book of Sin. Book of Sin is going to drop all kinds of pickups, by the way, if you didn't know already. Soul hearts, regular red hearts. We can get bone hearts. We can get tarot cards, pills, trinkets. Actually, no, you can't get trinkets, but all kinds of pickups, though. I don't know where that dude was thinking he was going at that speed. Now, obviously, with this only being floor 3 and it's already 14 minutes and 20 seconds into the run, we are not going to make boss rush unless we find Mama Mega, which is very, very, very unlikely. I know the secret room's to the left of here. You can kind of see it by way of how the rocks are in this room. You see it's kind of making an arrow towards this flat wall. It's a very, very high percentage wall right here. And we get more money. So money is not a problem on this run, at least. I'm going to bomb this keeper here. And we'll go back up into this room. We have enough bombs to do that, but we got to be a little bit careful, a little bit frivolous. We don't want to spend too many of our bombs here on not getting any kind of return. Obviously, with Mom's Key, though, this is a great opportunity here. We got our bomb backs. That's good. Let's get this golden chest, and hopefully it pays out with a lot, unless if it pays out with a single tarot card. Thereby making my excitement over Mom's Key moot. This room, you just gotta kind of take it methodically. Don't concentrate on anything else but the mob that's in front of you. We're just gonna go one at a time here. Just beat every mob. Think of it like individual battles. Obviously, look at where you need to dodge and everything too, but more importantly, just try to stay focused on just bringing down one mob at a time. When you're in those really large and chaotic and hectic rooms like that one. So we definitely can go into the curse room here. Absolutely afford it, especially with that extra soul heart. And we got absolutely nothing. Mom's Key, by the way, will make all chests yield more items, at least theoretically anyway. Thanks to the cracked orb, we at least get to see where the item room is, and eventually we'll also get to see where other challenge rooms are. But the situation has not changed that much. We need to get tiers, we need to get damage, we need to get movement speed. And so far, the back half of March, well, we're not in the back half yet. We're getting there, though. Not been the most stellar. But who knows? It only takes one crazy run to turn it into a new run, and we haven't had one in a little bit now. Now everyone's missing the Alex art. Who knows? If you see Alex art here, that means we had something special. Or maybe we just get Fruity Plum. Ace of Spades turn everything into keys. We don't necessarily need keys, but I will take a very, very quick and free room clear. Room clear. There we go. Let's go back and go grab the Temperance Machine because I definitely want to get more money. That's an interesting hairstyle you got going on. You're looking like a character out of Eugenics here, Isaac. Maggie's bow and small rock at the same spot as cracked orb. That's a fashion statement, son. And the mullet too. I mean, you can't forget the mullet. Red stew, not what we want. I can take it, but it's not going to give us that much of a... It's not going to give us that much of an advantage right now. Like, we'll be able to clear this floor, maybe get the next floor, but that's kind of pushing it here. We need lots of ads to kill. We get a range upgrade. if you don't know what Red Stew does, it gives us a massive amount of damage right off the bat, but it very steadily and rapidly declines with totally independent of what you're doing. So you can extend that timer by killing things. The more things that Isaac kills, the more things kind of get added to the stew, and thereby extending the duration of your damage upgrade. But when you're not killing things, like we haven't been for this entire floor, basically, yeah, it consumes itself very quickly here. Gonna get Jacob's Ladder, which is excellent for us. And we get a greed fight. He gets absolutely mollywopped there. So, you know, you have a very good opportunity to clear a couple of floors if you're lucky. But if you're short on cash, you know, it's one of those items that I skip over sometimes, and people are always dumbfounded that, you know, why? There's literally no downside. It's all about prioritizing your money. You know, yes, it does give us a benefit right now, but is our tiers up to snuff? Are we going to have the movement speed to get multiple floor clears out of this? Do we have any flies with us? All that stuff goes into evaluating whether or not your money's going to be spent here, because you don't know how much money you're going to have on the next floor. You may get nothing. So understanding, you know, how to prioritize your funds, how to manage your economy in Isaac is very, very, very important. And there are times when, even though Red Stew looks like it's an incredible pickup, if you get only one room clear or one floor clear and that's it, when you could have maybe bought the compass, you could have maybe bought something a little bit more long lasting. You know, is it really worth it? And sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes you just got to speculate and think like, well, maybe we'll get hooked up here. So I'm happy with us getting 2 full clears of floors here, thanks to Red Stew. Definitely worth the 15 cents, but our economy is also very, very strong in this run, so I didn't really have any qualms about picking it up in the first place. There we go. And we don't get a devil deal. And once again, we're on a 4-5 devil deal. All right. Amazing, this trend of just how bad the devil deals have been lately. And that includes, but is not limited to, also them not showing up whenever we're supposed to have a better than average chance of getting one. 68%. Is it surprising? No. No. Is it expected? Yes, absolutely. Is it any less aggravating every single time? No, it's not. But you gotta just, in Isaac, it's like I said yesterday or day before yesterday, you know, you expect the absolute worst. Murphy's Law is in full effect here. Just don't expect anything and you'll never be disappointed. And that's Isaac in a nutshell. Book of Revelations and also the Satanic Bible. I will take both of these, but not until after we're done with the boss. Because I don't want to lose a boss item to me accidentally hitting the spacebar or just out of impatience. Now, Mom's Key is also a very great big reason why we do not have any economy issues here in this run going into the mid game here. Is it another Tinted Rock? No, it is another Tinted Rock. Tinted Rocks galore. Red Stew is now pretty much done, and no, unfortunately, once the Red Stew buff wears out, it does not come back. Although I have always been of the opinion that I think, this is just my personal opinion, I think that if you take, well, we have a chance to get the Necromancer transformation. Hang on now, because the Necronomicon's in the library. Anyway, I'm of the opinion that if you get Red Stew, I think that the bonus should always stick with you and gives you an opportunity to start building it back up. I think that that is a fair thing to do. I don't think it should just be a temporary passive item and then it's just a waste of a space after that. So, you know, if you kill, theoretically, in my version of Red Stew, theoretically, if you killed enough enemies in rapid succession, you would be able to start building up that damage buff again over time passively, since we, you know, paid 15 cents for it. So I think that that's fair. But there's probably going to be many other people who say, oh my god, just making the game too easy. Just trying to make it fun. I really want red candle. We would need the missing page trinket to make the necromancer transformation. We have 2 of the 3 right now. But will we find the missing page trinket? That's going to be a tough one. That's always the hardest one to get. This movement speed is doo-doo speed right now. And I think it's probably going to stay that way for this rest of this run, so we got to plan accordingly here. Filigree feather is interesting, but we haven't seen a whisper of a sack room on this run. Gonna be fallen, so we were gonna not get a boss room item anyway. It's gonna be a double deal item. But at least we don't have to pay HP for it. Not that we would want to pay HP for it anyway. We get the Pact, which is going to give us a much needed, huge DPS upgrade, but it's still not perfect. But it's better than nothing. Bombs. We got bombs coming out the wazoo here. Plenty of bombs here. Plenty of money. So, can we go for the Necronomicon or the Necromancer transformation? I'm going to try. Even though it's not the right play, even though Red Candle is absolutely 110,000% the correct play here, I'm going to try it. Because we've never done it before on the channel. But make no mistake about it, this is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, not what you want to be doing if you're trying to win this run. Because the chance of us finding the missing page trinket is exceedingly low. And just do that. And then grab the Satanic Bible to get the bookworm. Use that. And now we have the Necronomicon. We have two of 3 for the Necromancer trinket. Or Necromancer transformation. And let's see if we can... Who knows? Maybe we get lucky. Maybe we find school bag and mom's box on the next floor and we just get it. Maybe we find it in this golden chest. Seems like the game is trying to set us up for it, so maybe... Necronomicon is going to just deal a bunch of AoE damage to everything, hence AoE. Doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, but the Necromancer transformation is nice. Nothing to sneeze at. But it certainly is not really super impactful. It's just neat to see. I'm going to keep the Temperance Machine just in case we need to get down to Polar Invincibility. I mean, we're at full HP right now, obviously, but it's not... yeah, we'll take the Filigree Feather. Maybe we'll find a sack room on the next floor. Yeah, we need a lot of help. Bookworm's going to be very nice, at least with Jacob's Ladder. I mean, I'm glad that we have Jacob's Ladder, you know? He gives us a little bit more AoE. We don't really gain a whole lot in terms of DPS from Jacob's Ladder, but it does help our clearing speed anyway. And with all these hits in the curse room, we are going to reveal, slowly but surely, the rest of the map. So maybe we can get a read on if there is a sack room in here somewhere. Filigree Feather is a trinket that we have right now, and it will give us a guaranteed angel item every time that we destroy and loot an angel statue. So if we were hypothetically able to find a sack room on this floor, we would be able to get an angel deal item, or 2, instead of a key. Another tinted rock here. Here comes our greed fight. No, it's not a greed fight, surprisingly. Get the blanket. Some bombas. Might as well bomb the keeper here. And we can put a whole lot of money back in our donation machine, which I am more than happy to do. All right. Come on now. Give us the missing page. All is forgiven if you give us the Necromancer transformation. Super Secret Room is guaranteed to be to the right of here. So the 4.5 volt plus Necronomicon is an interesting combo. Movement speed, man. It's a very, very interesting combo. There's a vault over here, which I think we should go by and get because of the chance of us getting the missing page. Soul Maggie, which, you know, if we were a little bit more Red Heart centric and focused, we could maybe get a little bit of benefit out of that. Maybe go for like a Temperance Machine play and get the blood bag. I mean, we can try it. I doubt that we're gonna get a payout, but you never know. Game has been paying out a lot lately with whenever we don't want things to pay out. And there is a sack room here, so hang on now. Hang on now. Thanks to the Temperance Machine, we got basically a full view of the map. You can bomb the Charge Beggar here for a very, very big increase in our chances to get a double deal. Okay, so the Red Heart HP is good. Because that, not only does that give us obviously an HP upgrade, but it also heals us for 1 HP. So, and that's good too. So we're going to have to lose a lot of soul hearts to get a full payout here, but it's going to be worth it if and only if we get a good Angel Deal item out of this. And you don't really want to do this with the Polaroid because it basically just slows you down by a whole lot. There it is. We actually got it. A missing page. It was meant to be. Taking damage is 5% chance to deal 80 damage to all enemies. Black hearts and Necronomicon-like effects are doubled. Wow. We actually got the Necronomicon or the Necromancer transformation. I cannot believe it. That was, without a doubt, meant to be here. Because I have never seen it naturally in this game before until now. Wow. That's incredible. Look how strong that is. Now, the Necromancer... Oh, I forgot to take this, though. The Necromancer transformation will, it will give you unlimited use of the Necronomicon, but it will run out floor by floor. So then you have to wait for another floor to refill it. Let's go back over here. Let's go grab the... I was too excited to see the Necromancer transformation. I didn't even think about the stupid filigree feather. We're still going to get one, though. I saw Uriel just get absolutely domed by the Necromancer transformation. There goes our Bone Heart. If we just get something like Revelation or... Hell, give me the body just for funsies. I'll take it at that point. Fighting Mom is going to be much easier as the Necromancer. You know we had the filigree... Oh, whatever, game. Get a full card here. All right. We could honestly... Man, I shouldn't have picked up that red heart. Honestly, what we could do is we can go into here and get free access into the boss trap room. And maybe get an HP upgrade there, and then we can full card out of there. So what we can do is this. Drop that temperance machine, go back, get the fool card, come back here, hit the temperance machine, then use the fool card out. So we don't have to do the boss trap room, and hopefully there's a tears upgrade in here. Now, all this to being said, we still are not in a great position on this run. We just gave away all of the HP, basically our only advantage that we had to try to get a payout with the filigree feather, which apparently just didn't work. So there's that. Excuse me? I guess it only works if you're in an active room. Well, we can still use the full card to get out of here. There's an HP upgrade in here. That's fine. We'll go back and we'll get that HP. The one teeny little heart, unless we get one here. We do. Not enough, though. So, in a very, very strange twist on this run, unfortunately, now we're not going to have the Necromancer or Necronomicon ability for Mom, but we can at least deal a little bit of damage to her with it. And it is a significant amount of damage, too, which is good, but there's just no way to recharge it. And the 4.5 volt is basically practically useless right now. Now, what we can do to try to get a little bit sneaky, in theory this should work anyway, is we can go over here and drop temporarily the missing page. And I think maybe... No, it won't do anything. Wait, it did charge it. Yeah, it totally charged it. Okay. Well, look at that. A little bit of a trick there. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, so when I said significant damage, I didn't know it was that significant. Good lord. There we go. So we get the full charge of our Necronomicon. We cannot lose this bone heart. Well, Samson doesn't do anything for us here. Just a soul heart or two, and we're happy. I'll take an HP upgrade. Yeah, we don't, and this isn't a, I mean, you saw how much power that was against Mom. This is not a situation where we want to hoard this thing. We want to use it to clear rooms here. Oh, game. I refuse to lose this bone heart. Brother. 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 Are you kidding me? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, March is on something. It's on one. You can't tell me that March isn't getting a little too big for his britches here. Some of these questionable occurrences that are happening. So if we're not going to get a double deal, and we're not going to get any movement speed or tears upgrades for an entire run, then we might as well just have the Necromancer transformation and have some fun. Almost killed Daddy Longlegs there. Now remember, once the Necronomicon goes down, we still gain the benefit of having 4.5 volt to go with the Necronomicon. And yeah, it's another 68% failure in the Devil Deal. You saw that we absolutely hit him to the dome piece there. And the Necromancer Necronomicon is extremely strong. I wish that the 4.5 volt worked with it. Because that might be, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of old school Blood Rites and Isaac's Heart. Just wanted to feel alive. I don't know how we didn't get hit there in that little corner. Although it did just take all of our... It took all of our Necronomicon charge there. What the heck is that, game? Maybe it's counting it as a second charge there? I don't know. There we go. So we go bop, 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 bop. Now we're on regular Necronomicon. And we still have the doubled effect from being the Necromancer. We just don't have the insta-use Necronomicon now. There we go. We get our last Devil Deal. And... Twisted Pair would help, I suppose. We could just get damage from... No, I guess we'll take it. I was thinking about the damage upgrade that we would get from Redemption. Okay. So at least with Twisted Pair, we get some... If you squint really hard, we get kind of a Tears upgrade because we're firing more shots at once than we were. So like I said, you gotta really squint hard to see the Tears upgrade there, but the point is that we're firing at the same rate, but we're getting more Tears out of each fire. And also this creates more Jacob's Ladder strikes. Which ultimately does increase our DPS, so. There we go. Yeah, on the day that we got the Necromancer transformation, I'm stunned. The game was trying to set us up for, oh man, there it was, darn, and I took Red Candle. That's what the game was trying, but this time around we threw a little curveball. And man, did it pay off. There we go. It's not really worth this stone chest, or the steel chest here, but we can take it anyway. Money has absolutely not been a problem in this run. Stats have been a problem, but we've been able to overcome. There's a Tenor Rock up here. I didn't even notice it. Tenor Rock that gave us a Troll Bomb. Ooh. Okay. We can't... The Necronomicon transformation, though, man. We just skipped all of phase 2. Went right to phase 3 in Isaac. That's pretty damn powerful. I'd love Cracked Crown here. I would love Cracked Crown here, but we really honestly haven't gotten that many stat upgrades to really warrant it. We can reevaluate. Let's see what our stats are with the Cracked Crown. All it does is it boosts the stats that you've already gotten boosts to. So we would get a couple of tiers upgrades. We would get a couple of damage upgrades from the pack and from Small Rock, but that's about it. And let's see what our stats go to here. Yeah, not really worth it. We'll stick with the I mean, it's the Necromancer. Come on, we got to finish the run like this. Come on now. Ludovico. Yeah, this is not great. Not great. Seeing there, the Jacob's Ladder really just frying all of Ragman. It would be funny if Mega Fatty sucked up all the bone spurs. Soul Lilith gives us a follower, which we will never find out what it is, because it can also give you bad stuff. All right, there's the entire east side of the map, everybody. And I don't want to use our Necronomicon until I absolutely have to. Sea Dizzle. Now, Sea Dizzle plus Maggie's bow is actually incredible. No. Had enough of Mega Satan for one week here. One challenge is good enough. Really, Mega Stanley wasn't all that bad in the 3-item challenge video. But Delirium, though. Delirium just kind of triggers that emotion of, like, this is going to suck. I really do wish that the 4.5 volt did work with the Necronomicon. In this case, I mean, as the Necromancer. Imagine how strong that would be. That'd be so amazing. Polydactyl, which gave us a Reverse Magician card. We can use against Blue Baby. Wild ricochets going on there. Roll Bomb Central. Nice shot, Wrath. Get a Golden Bomb. And how many keys do you want today, Mr. Key Beggar? All of them with no payout? Sounds like a deal. Get Halitosis. Super Lust ended this possibility here. I mean, we're still going to have the 4.5 volt and Necromancer for the Blue Baby fight. But Super Lust was coming in way too hot there. She needed to be put down. I think for how rare the Necromancer transformation is, I think that it should synergize. If you just happen to have... Oh my god, I'll never be able to make that dodge again. That was a 1 in a million dodge right there. I think it's fair to say to let them synergize with each other. I mean, how often, A, do you get the Necromancer transformation, and B, how often would you have the 4.5 volt to go along with that? Not often. I mean, this is the first time ever for me. And how many thousands of runs have I done this stupid game? A lot. I will petition Zombolis, which will instantly get shut down, but hey, at least I could say that I tried. In the name of fun. There you go, so Necronomicon is down for now, but I did use the reverse magician card, so that's the reason why you're seeing all the shots go all wonky like that. But you know, we thought that this run was a troll, and it kind of was, but it did give us the rarest transformation in Isaac. And I will take the Necromancer transformation any day, just to show it off. I mean, this is the first time I'm actually getting to see it. And play with it on an actual run. So, very fun experience. Let me know if you've gotten the Necromancer transformation down below in the comments. How often do you see it? Do you think that it's a wise idea? Do you think it's cool in order for us to have 4.5 volt synergize with it, or do you think that would be too OP? Post your comments down below. Thank you for watching, everyone. How could you not like that one on a Friday? Hope you have a great start to your weekends, everyone. Here's your meme of the day. We have so many new memes. Thank you to the Mosh Pit for answering the call. This one titled episode 460 by, I'm going to say, I think it's Russell99. I'm probably saying that incorrectly. Title thread was episode 460. Start with $1. Have a lot of buying power in the shop. Game gives you no good shop items. The game gives you no good shop items. Yep. Welcome to my life, and welcome to the Binding of Isaac Repentance. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great weekend. Don't forget about Pokemon Breaks. Coming up tonight, we got a big one over at twitch.tv/Invicta beginning at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Central. Yeah, don't miss it. It's a big one. Thanks for watching this video. Like, thanks to patrons of mine like Gifted Iris, Kane Hughes, and Dina. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.